Hello, everyone, and welcome into this episode of the Movie Geek podcast. I had the pleasure of interviewing Jennifer Nagel, and I know I'm going to mess up his last name, Charles Chadabola. Um, these two have been very hardworking, independent actors, producer, writers, you name it, they've done it. They've won a lot of awards together, and I just had the privilege of having them on. Now, originally it was going to be an interview. I had questions for them, but I had some technical difficulties with Zoom hooking up. At one point they could hear me and I couldn't hear them, and I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me. And so I kind of cut off the rails real quick. But they seem to be talking about certain things, so I just jumped right in, and this is how the interview was going. Basically became just a chat fest, and we had a great time. And here it is for you. So check it out.
But I heard you guys talking about the movies and everything else. So you got through Nora.
I did. Yeah. I
Yeah.
got through it.
Yeah, as I mentioned in my podcast about the Oscars, this year was so wide open, and just there was a lot of movies that I thought should have been nominated that didn't get nominated at all. And
hmm
like I'll die on the hill that I thought Civil War last year was probably one of the best movies there was. Um, but it didn't even get a nomination. Didn't even get Golden Globe noms. So I was like, well, maybe I don't know, maybe because it was political. I mean, I
Probably
have
because it
no
was
idea.
political, but I also agree. I didn't think it was that amazing. I liked it. I thought it was interesting, but I didn't think I wasn't blown away by it.
So, um, welcome.
Hi,
Yeah,
what's up?
how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing
Good,
great.
good, good, good.
Yeah.
I know you guys are having so much fun, and I wasn't being able to hear it all that was going on, and then I got the audio part, and then the the voice part disappeared. So I have no idea what happened there. But well, welcome in to my podcast. Um, Jennifer, you were on last year, and last year I had only the audio part, which was up on my site. Charles, you're joining us tonight. I'm a huge fan of both of you guys. I have right here your body count.
Woo!
Oh.
You know,
Yes,
um,
yes.
yeah, when you brought that up, I mentioned that I definitely kicked into that Kickstarter, and you guys did awesome with it. I mean, so congrats on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Um, so I have watched your podcasts. For my audience, it is linked in my page, but it's Beyond the Body Count podcast. You guys have been friends for a very long time. Um,
Just like
you know,
last year, whatever.
yeah, it seems that way. I mean, especially when you go through your pages on IDBM, that you guys literally work so much together, and obviously you guys have you know been together so long, and with your podcast, you guys just literally just have so much fun with it, and it's probably been a whole lot of fun to do. Uh,
Nah,
I didn't think so.
it's
Yeah.
so boring. I
It
hate
is
every
it is a
moment
lot
of
of fun.
it.
Well, yeah,
Sorry, I thought it was sarcastic day today.
it can be sarcastic every day.
There we go.
Um,
George understands me.
yeah, yeah, I do. Um,
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
well, hey, we had mutual like for Clue back
Yes.
in our first
Ooh.
one. Yeah, have you
Yep.
seen that, Charles?
I love Clue.
All right.
There we
Love
go.
Clue. Oh my
All right.
God.
So I want to ask you.
Rewatchability of it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
go
want to
ahead.
ask you about it real quick.
Sure.
What ending do you think was the true ending?
Okay, so first of all, I gotta go back and rewatch Clue. Okay, this is a really bad start. We are starting off with I gotta go back and rewatch it. But I used to watch it a lot. Okay, when it was because they used to rerun it a lot on cable or TNT or TBS network. You remember the Friday night movies and Dinner and a Movie on TBS, and it had such a rewatchability factor, and the humor just landed. It was very slapsticky in a lot of ways. I just remember that movie was so much fun, and it makes me want to go rewatch it. So I forgot that there were alternate endings, or I forgot that I don't know that there could have been alternate endings. Wait a minute! It's coming back to me. Don't they show several different endings at the end of the movie?
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
And they kind of cut to what you think would have happened, or they, and they do an alternate. So, oh gosh, I want to contribute so bad to this with full fresh Clue.
It's perfectly okay. I didn't mean to put you on the spot right away.
No.
That's what we do here.
Right, exactly.
If it looks like there's homework, I'm gonna be the one that's hang on 1 second.
What's the cheat sheet?
I know that I did it.
See, I knew this was going to be a lot of fun when I had DM'd Jennifer about you guys coming on. So yeah, so this is going to be a lot of fun.
Well, Charles failed. How about that? He failed.
Although Jen, you have failed on that one about the horror movies, nominated for Academy Awards, and it was the one about the boat and teeth.
Oh
The
my
Jaws
God!
one.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God!
I was like, wait a minute, she's from the North Shore. How did she miss that one?
Look, I was under pressure. I was a little stressed. He was throwing all these things at me, and I don't do well with
I was like, how did she miss that one? of all things, it is,
I think what is also worse was when I went onto social media and I was like, who else would have missed this? Nobody else did. Everybody else got it, but me.
It's okay. But yeah, it's I was like,
I'm a horror hostess, people.
Right. All right. So you guys have done a lot of work together. What has been other than body count, what has been one of the projects you guys worked on and just really loved the most?
Also, besides Malvolia?
Well,
seasons?
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, Irrational Fear. Hands down, Irrational Fear.
Mm-hmm.
That's if you watched our podcast, I apologize. I'm going to repeat myself, but that's really where Charles and I really connected. We met each other at a premiere out here in Los Angeles. I was trying to get in with the cool kids, and so I went to their movie premiere and kind of connected there, but really didn't connect until we were both cast in a indie movie called Irrational Fear that we shot out in Wisconsin. So that's hands down my favorite. Yeah.
Well, I was just curious as to what projects you really Charles, same thing, or
so okay, Irrational Fear hands down is what comes up first, because and when we're asked that question of working together, it was literally what created our friendship. And I mean, there's just something magical, it's a snapshot in time to bring that many people to Wisconsin in this lake house. And so if you listen to the podcast, you'll get to hear us share our story. So
I have. I just want to push it.
Oh, I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking to you. Okay, so this is also George. This is also just an interesting. I'm very aware that I'm used to being on that side of the.
Charles is always the host.
I'm always podcast. So I'm not. Yes, I'm talking
he doesn't know how to guest.
Well, no. Well, even when I'm around, I feel like I'm talking to somebody and I'm not talking. I'm in the car and I'm processing my thoughts, and I'm like, yeah. For those of you listening, no, oh my gosh, that's starting to sound a little diagnosable. But anyways, well, yeah, we shared our story and about how we met on that set. But the way that the film was shot, I mean, they pretty much shot the movie in order. So as people in the movie are getting killed off in the movie, that means that those cast members are they're wrapped, and that means that they leave the lake house and they fly back to wherever they're going. So those cast members, those crew, the house starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and we're all staying on this lake house. And I remember, for Jen and I, we bonded like so fast. This is why I know that we met in another.
And I was only there like 4 days.
Oh my God.
I was there very quick.
It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And I just remember, like, when you left, I was like, oh my God, am I going to still talk to you when we go back to LA? Like, is it going to be one of those like LA things? Like, yeah, we'll get lunch or we'll get coffee. But like, it never really happens.
Usually with other people. Yeah, it never really happens.
Yeah. And so we remained friends, and we saw each other like immediately, like when I got back after me wrapping Irrational Fear. So yeah, I gotta say that was a really great time, and it was a snapshot in time, and now since then we've done like so many other projects that I love so much too. And I also got to mention Four, which is a witch movie, coven movie that I wrote, and it's in 2 parts. And Jen plays the lead, or like our high priestess witch calls. Her name is Janelle, and we're all part of the coven. And that was, every single time that I'm writing or directing something, I always get very, very nervous about it. My very first film that I did was called Nightshade, that I directed, and I cast her as the lead. And it took me months for me to ask Jen to even play it, because I was so nervous. I'm like, oh my God, what if she says no? Because she's such a talent. She's also like, she's so skilled in her craft, and I respect her as a person, as a colleague, but also just as my friend. I want to make sure that I also don't let her down, and after that first film, it took me a couple years to get back on it. And once I finally did, I'm like, okay, this is the film that I really want to make and direct. And yeah, and she killed it in that role. And we had so much fun on that set. And then we brought back for like the part 2 sequel. And it was just like bringing all of my Buffy the Vampire Slayer charmed like dreams to life with Jen at the core.
Yeah, she mentioned Buffy the Vampire Slayer in her list of favorite movies. I let her pass on that one.
Oh, the Kristen Swanson one?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I was a Buffy fan of the series. I was more a Faith fan than anything, because Elijah Dushku is from Boston, so I was always a Faith fan. But I love that. But the movie was not that good. But it's okay, Jen. I'll let that one slide.
It was my adolescence. It was funny. It has David Arquette.
It was mine too.
I could quote that movie. I had it on repeat all the time.
Isn't a name. It's a fish. Like just like token lines.
Yeah. No.
Oh, come on.
Well, hey, so if you can recite that all through, Charles, that's great. I have one movie that I absolutely will do. It annoys people that will never watch the movie with me. Hold on.
Yeah, you're a little fuzzy. I'm trying to think of another Buffy quote I can say right now, but I'm going blank.
Spaceballs is my favorite of all time. Like, people will not watch that film with me. If it's on TV and I'm watching it, I will just turn the volume off, and people will just leave the room because they know, like, I'm going to annoy the hell out of them with
Say the whole thing.
Right, exactly. So I also, I've seen almost all your podcasts all the way through. The one on AI was very interesting to me. As a fan of movies, I mean, I watch pretty much as many movies as I can. Do you think at some point, I know with the whole Emily Perez thing where they said, controversy around the AI part, do you really think that, eventually some script writer, screenwriter is going to just do a whole AI set and wind up winning or be disqualified because somebody found out that it was AI?
Mm. Well,
Because as writers and directors yourselves, and you guys
yeah.
must really, revel in the fact that, as much as you didn't like Enora,
Sorry.
it was an independent film. He wrote it, directed, edited it. He did like everything. So he was, independent all the way through, and as independent.
Oh, but he had a huge budget. He had a huge budget.
I understand that, but do you think that, people in the indie industry, like you guys yourself, like if you guys were to try to pitch something to Netflix or, to Amazon Prime, do you think it now might be easier to do it because of the indie film winning, all those awards?
I'm just going to say this. There isn't a lot being made, especially right now. And being in the union, I keep hearing, oh, April. Oh, the next month. Oh, the next month. Things are going to pick up the next month. They're going to pick up the next month. And they haven't. Mm-hmm. So what's really getting us through these past couple of years from all the strikes and everything is independent film. So I say yes to that, but they're still, in my opinion, they're still going to be very picky about what they pick up.
Yeah, I mean the way Hollywood right now is, rebooting everything and so on. I'm like, why do we need this? When I did my my second episode of this year, I listed 3 different categories, like movies I was really anticipating, and then I had the category of sequels you really didn't think you needed. And then there's the other one where you may be interested, but it may be in that other category. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so bizarre to me that we are just constantly looking at reboots or, Snow White, for example, live action movies. Like, why is Hollywood so dependent on trying to resurrect things like this? Like, again, I saw the preview for Final Destination Bloodlines. I'm like why? Why do we have to go back and try to tie up a bow or reboot something? Like, what do you guys think?
Charles, take it.
I will say this, that there is an appetite for the nostalgia, and especially for like classic horror fans who are now grown up. I mean, we're seeing like I Know What You Did Last Summer come back now with the reboot, right? Yeah. And they're bringing, obviously Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt. But look, I'll speak to what I've heard from, I don't know if it's Generation Z or even the generation after that, who are, I guess, the younger generation that's in the horror community, or they go to the conventions, they love horror. And I've heard straight from their voices that they're kind of envious of us that we got to live through seeing Scream in theaters, because these are now their favorite films, through seeing Freddy versus Jason in theaters, for seeing some of these films that like we either love or maybe flopped to a certain degree, but they found their audience in them. And they are also now adding to this demographic of young and old that we all like are listening to the same movie soundtracks, and they almost kind of want a piece of that. Now, I went to go see Oz Perkins' The Monkey, which I loved. I loved it. It was balls to the wall crazy. It didn't hold back. It had almost a Final Destination kind of feel to it. It was extra gory, but it was also okay. Somebody out there is making a movie that they want to make. It wasn't really. It was a very, very simple premise, and I thought that it was, in the scheme of what we're seeing right now, it was just kind of like balls to the wall, just crazy. And I was just glad, whether you like the film or not, I'm happy that films are actually getting out there a lot more now. I mean, I just went to go see the Death of a Unicorn this weekend.
Yes, I do want to see that this week.
Okay, so I mean, that almost feels like a Knives Out type of situation. But
I love Knives Out. I know he's got one coming at the end of this year called Wake Up Dead Man, I think.
Okay.
Or it's coming on Netflix, I think, in November. So if they don't push it to 2026, but
so, but I want to address the AI issue that you brought up earlier about, do we think that there might be a film that comes along and either wins or, you know, for maybe like best screenplay or something like that? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously, you know, I addressed Flow, which was that cat movie, that animated film that was made using Blender, which is an AI, consumer-friendly AI program and software that you can download today and start using. And they made that movie for, I think, maybe $3 million. And the movie ended up winning an Academy Award. It's just like, it's crazy. I mean, I think Hollywood is scared of that. I mean, are we seeing, you know, parts of scripts being used in AI? I think studios now are just getting crafty. They're just hiring less. We've seen it with the writer's strike, and we've seen it with, like, you know, the actors strike, and they've understood that they're all hemorrhaging money right now because they made a lot of these big choices with these ballooned budgets and these tentpole movies that they think are going to bring butts into the seats, and the theaters have been empty. Again, Snow White is another example of that. So I think we are going to see a more. It's already happening now. I have a filmmaker colleague of mine right now who's making an entire feature film on AI.
Oh, really?
Yes. Using images of actors and using their likeness and putting them through a software and creating scenes with these actors. Also, just today, if you're a true crime fan, it's kind of a sad story. I don't know if you're familiar with the Gabby Petito story. She was a girl that went missing, and then she was killed by her boyfriend, murdered by her boyfriend. And the parents were trying.
I think there's a Netflix documentary. Yep.
In the next Netflix documentary, they recreated like her last journal entries, and they used her voice. They took Gabby Petito's voice through AI so that they didn't have to hire a voiceover actor. The family went on an interview today. They said that it sounded like her. It was a little off, but it was, you know, they love hearing her daughter's voice. So it's being used in it's being used in so many ways.
Right. Well, I mean, it's been used very, you know, in a lot of ways. Like, I remember when Star Wars did Rogue One, they brought, you know, characters back from the original Star Wars, and then they de-aged them into, and then they used their voices for it so that it would look like, you know, hey, they were still alive, even though, you know, it's like 35, 40 years later. I do remember a film years ago called Final Fantasy. It was all
it was the PlayStation movie. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they had, you know, Alec Baldwin, you know, Donald Sutherland, James Woods. And I remember seeing something where, oh, this is going to be the future of movies. Like, we're going to take these actors and we're just going to put them on the screen, but they're just going to be standing in a booth, and we're just going to, you know, move them around and, you know, or, you know, do what they do with the video games, you know, the motion captures and stuff. And obviously that movie didn't do well. And it was kind of like, we'll just leave that for video games or whatever, or we'll splice it in every which way. But I don't know. It was just fascinating to me that, you know, oh, we're going to change acting by, you know, putting computer images up there. And you're right about Flow. I was like, how did this win the Academy Award? Like, you know, you had Wild Robot, you had Inside Out 2, which made a whole lot of money, and Wild Robot really did well with critics, and then Flow just kind of snuck in there, you know, and it's like
just like Anora.
Just like Anora. Well,
I want to contribute to the Anora conversation. I gotta watch Anora. My list is growing.
my list is so long. Like I was sitting down the other day and I'm going through the list of stuff that I'm reviewing. Like I went to go see Ash, which was panned at South by Southwest, and then I was like, oh, there's new movies on Max and Prime, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't know what to watch because there's too many options.
There's a lot of things to watch right now. Yeah.
Right. And it's like, what do you do? Do you want to watch something old or something new? And then you've got a million documentaries out there now. Like Netflix just keeps pumping these out, and it like
my jam. I love documentaries.
Documentaries they're like easy watch though too,
Yeah.
Well, right, because you get hooked in it so fast, and you're like, I can't stop.
Yeah.
You look for the ones where like one or two episodes, that are really short, and then that last one ties it together. Like, oh, thank God.
And then you want to like research while you're watching, like, I wonder because they're building up what happened to so and so. Have they been exiled? Are they in jail? Are they dead? And you're like, oh my God. And they're like, and we've just waited for the other shoe to drop. Boom. And then it's like, end credits. You're just like, obviously this is based on something that's already real, but like new to me.
Well, right, like the Charles Smith thing, the documentary on the Charles Smith case. If Jennifer might remember that, if you were still here.
It was Charles Smith. I've been all up in Karen Reed's business.
Karen Reed.
I know. This thing is dragging on forever. It is so it is so annoying right now. Like, word double jeopardy should come into play at this point. Around here, it's so. I mean, there's so many people that are involved, and then there's some new evidence that came out about some state troopers, and I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we continuing to do this case? Like, she's got to be innocent. I mean, just some of the evidence where like she backed in and sent him flying. I'm like, it was snowing. It was literally snowing outside. How could she have moved that fast and sent him 40 feet? Like, you know what I mean? It's just crazy to me that we are going through this again. Like, the news is just always, hey, Karen Reed, walks into the courtroom and this, that, and the other. And now she's got one of the ex-jurors as a legal counsel this time around. I'm like, what are we doing? There's got to be some
reason
precedent.
why, but
Right.
It's just comical, especially like she's already done like that 6-part ID investigation documentary where it's like all of that can be held against her. Did we not learn that from Jodi Arias? Like,
right,
come on, girl.
And now HBO Max has one listed on their thing. I think that might be the same.
I think it's the same one.
Yeah, it's the same one. And I'm like, we're retrying her. Why are we doing this?
Yes, that's my question too. I'm like, girl, why did you do that? But there's some sort of method to their madness,
Well, I mean, she's got to get off at this point. Like, I can't imagine any juror sitting in that room is like, oh yeah, she's guilty. Like, you know what I mean? With everything going on, because that trial lasted so long. How can you get anybody who's impartial or
that doesn't know? Yeah,
right, exactly. And now that you're retrying, so yeah, these documentary crime things are right.
Karen Reed.
Karen Reed.
Okay, I'll add that to my list.
Oh, friend, indulge. You hear it from her mouth too, like all the craziness. Yeah.
Oh, she appears in the documentary.
It's her documentary.
Yeah.
So wait, she made a documentary for herself?
No, so they interviewed her,
sorry.
but basically she was tried and there was a hung jury. And so between the first trial and now the second trial, she did this documentary saying all of her stuff, and she was pointing all these fingers to all these troopers and the text messages that came out that was being said. Oh, it's a hot mess. It's like a hot mess.
Text messages.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh
the
yeah,
drama.
there were some really bad text messages. Apparently, they were talking about like
her body. And,
yeah. They were like, yeah. Ooh. I was like, really? What?
Very unprofessional.
Yeah.
Very unprofessional. Like police officers and investigators and detectives were talking about her. So it's bananas. It's bananas. If you want some bananas, go watch the Karen Reed documentary.
I don't like bananas, but I'll watch the documentary. Why? The potassium's important.
It'll be good potassium for you.
All right.
Yes.
So I gotta stop here because it's gonna cut me off. I'm gonna send you another link, and we can try to finish this up. All right.
All right.
So yes, the documentary, or definitely look up Karen Reed, Charles. You'll get a kick out of what's going on here.
The craziness.
Yes, I will. This sounds like homework, so I'll do it. Or I'll try really hard.
No, that's okay. It's okay. Any movies you guys are looking forward to at all the rest of the year?
Well, I'll let Charles go because
all right. He's ready.
Well, because I want y'all to see Jen on the big screen.
What?
Yes, because your performance is so amazing. I'm going to say we, because we're both in this movie, but we have a huge movie coming out this summer. It's called Transmission. It is, I can't describe it. It's probably one of the best movies I've ever been a part of. I'm in it. I got a small part. Jen's got a huge part in the movie, and you're gonna love her in it. It is so amazing. And I got to go to the screening of it probably 3 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
And I just could not stop talking about it. It's sci-fi, but it's also
I love those good sci-fi.
It's sci-fi, but it's also horror, but it's also something else. And that something else is what is almost like, it's almost like living in the A24 universe in a weird way. And then it got to premiere at Fright Fest in the UK, and it won Best Cult Movie of the Year. So it's taken some time, but they got distro, and it's coming out on all platforms this summer. Go check it out. It's called Transmission. I couldn't even tell you what the plot is about.
Do you know the date?
I think they released the date. It's in a post.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
All right, I will look through first showings. I went through first showings when I did my top 20 or whatever, how many movies I was looking forward to. So I'll definitely look through that tomorrow and stuff, and maybe talk about that on one of my upcoming episodes. Anything, Jen? Are you looking forward to down the road this year?
No.
Well, you haven't seen Transmission yet. You got to see.
I haven't seen Transmission, so I'm excited for Transmission.
People who went to the screening messaged Jen, and they were like your performance was, because what she plays in this. It's I don't even want to say. I don't want to say much, but it's such a cool. It's so cool. It's
all right.
Cool.
Well, I will definitely look forward to it.
I can't wait to see it now too.
Right?
Because
you're so good.
I only filmed like bits and pieces and really have no idea how everything is integrated. Put together. So
intertwined. Whatever.
Integrated.
Whatever
I don't know what I was trying to say. Yeah.
Integrated. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to, at the end of this month coming up, Until Dawn. I played this video game, and when they announced that it was coming out, I was like, how are they going to do this? Because it's a Telltale game where you get to choose who does what and who lives and dies and whatever. And I'm like, man, how are they going to do this? I found it interesting that they didn't use the actors from the game. I mean, they had Eden Panettiere and Remy Malek, who won an Academy Award. He played the brother of the two missing girls, and I was like, huh.
There can always go into so much with that. Like, he could have a ton of conflicts. She might have outgrown the role. There's always reasons for that, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when they announced it, and then they said, well, we can't do the game. We have to do it a different way. And it looks very Groundhog Day-ish, where they're dying and they have to survive until dawn. I'm excited for it. I have a couple of videos coming out about video games turned into movies and how bad some of them have actually been. Because lo and behold, guess what's coming out this weekend? It's Minecraft. And I've heard people who've played Minecraft who are like, what is this crap? Like, it just looks terrible. But I bet it's going to do a bunch of money because you've got so many
nostalgia.
You've got teenagers who are playing this game constantly. Like my teenager plays every once in a while, or like he's like, oh, I forgot I built this or whatever, when he was like 8 or 9. But I don't know, the movie itself just looks like it's a jumbled mess, but I know Until Dawn looks authentic to the game, but it's not the game. You know what I mean? So
unpopular opinion here, but I thought the trailer for Minecraft looked amazing. I was like, this looks so cool. It's like a fantasy adventure. They're creating the world. Now it just came out. There was a news story that just dropped this week about the ticket sales and the seats for Minecraft so far, and the theaters are empty. Like, so far, like, very similar to the Snow White situation where they couldn't fill theaters. Like, the pre-sale advance are showing like a lot of theaters are almost completely empty for Minecraft right now. So it might not bode well for Minecraft, but they could also.
Well, I don't know. It just looks so corny, and it's just like, I don't know. It will be one of those that I'll probably watch when it comes to streaming, but I'm not running to the theaters for it. But again, like the Snow White thing, that had bomb written on it before it even got to it because of
Rachel Zegler.
Right.
And also Peter Dinklage made his comments on a podcast as well, on an interview.
Right. And it's like, oh boy. Like, and they didn't even have a red carpet for it. And then it gets beat.
They canceled that. Yep.
Right. And then it gets beat this weekend by A Working Man. Which
Jason Statham,
right? Yep. Which we've all seen this movie. It's called Beekeeper or Transporter. Or, you know what I mean? Like, he just or my son goes, well, at least he's not fighting a shark in this movie, like he did in the Meg. And I'm like, well, yeah, but
love the Meg,
right? Like, it's that was such a crazy film. I'm like, I do like Jason Statham, but they got to stop typecasting him, or he has
that's
to say,
all he can't do.
Well, or hey, what? Give me something else in action. Don't keep rebooting or like.
I don't think he went to acting school, to be honest. So
yeah, I mean, he might not have. So you guys make me laugh.
I'm so mean lately. I'm sorry.
No, and it's great. That's why when you guys started the podcast, like I just watch you guys just.
I started the podcast to be mean. I love it.
Huh?
I started the podcast to be mean.
I started it only because my girlfriend was sick of me talking movies. She's like, you should probably start a podcast. Everybody else is
and talk to somebody else about it,
right? And I was like, but I don't even know what these are. Like, you know what I mean? I know I'm a boomer, but still, I'm like, what? How do I do this? And she's like, just talk. Like, I'm like, all right. I did have her join me for the Hard Eyes review we went to go see that.
Yes.
Go ahead, Charles.
Sorry, we did an episode on this on Valentine's,
right.
I freaking loved. I loved Hard Eyes. I loved it. I loved it. It checked all the boxes, and like I said, that it worked as a romantic comedy. It also worked as a slasher, and those things were done like very, very, very well. Like it's hard to accomplish one of those. They were able to accomplish both of those, and I loved it. I had a lot of fun with it. It was a good time.
Yeah, we enjoyed it too, and I can see Jen's not.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay, all right.
I can't be included.
Okay,
Again.
No worries.
The Karen Reed of it all,
right?
Yeah. Oh. Well, you and KJ teamed up with me originally on the Hard Eyes, and now you and George.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only thing I found really funny about that film was, it was trying so hard to be like Scream, where they wanted to pin it on, the main character, and I'm like, I know what they're trying to do, but we all know it's not. You know what I mean? Like, but it worked. And then, like the ending, I'm like, man, there's some sick people in the world. I mean, I was like, that's a very interesting twist.
Yeah, I'm not going to say much.
No, I know. It's fine. No, we won't ruin it. We won't.
Thank
ruin
you.
It. We'll definitely see it though, Jen.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
And the cinema. Last thing I'll say again: the cinematography in this film. It's shot gorgeously. I mean, the movie looks gorgeous. I was a fan of a lot of. Yeah. It was really
and you're right. Like it just had all that corny. They tried to tie in. All these romantic comedies. You had your, slutty best friend who literally quoted movies or movie titles to her to the main character while she's spending her her money and stuff. So yeah, it was such a crazy film. So, but yeah, we enjoyed it. I can't seem to get my friend Judy on my podcast. She and I watch the Oscars every year, and we
should have done a live commentary.
Oh God, that would be torture. It's so long, and I know they try to speed it up. I mean, this year, they put it on at like 7. It still ended almost 11:30. So I know they keep saying, hey, we're gonna speed this up. It never happens. I don't know why, and especially because they don't list all the categories anymore. They have like a segment where they're like, here, these people won this award. We gave those out yesterday. Well, okay. So why are we still taking so damn long? But yeah, my friend Judy's like, no, I don't want to speak on the thing. I'm like, come on, we would have so much fun.
It was missing an Oscar slap. I think I'm joking.
Oscar slap. All right.
I'm joking.
Well, I mean, again, this year felt so different, Oscar wise. Like we all knew the year before that it was basically Oppenheimer. Like it had just crushed everything. It was, you had that Oscar buzz all through the award season, and you knew. But this year it was completely different. Like you had a Golden Globe winner, and I think it was The Brutalist had won that one, and then one of the other award shows, another movie won it, and it was just like, okay, who is your front runners? You know what I mean? And then of course Dune 2 gets a nomination. I'm like, okay, look, it was good. It's visually stunning, but really, does it really be considered a best movie? Like how does that how does that translate into into a best picture nomination? You know what I mean? Like, I was so lost in this whole thing because I'm like, it's a good movie, but it's more visually stunning than anything, And so I don't know. It's just hard to know why certain films don't get nominated or just kind of get lost in the shuffle. And it looked like this year a lot of the Oscar nods went to films that were literally coming out at the end of last year instead of the ones at the beginning of the year. So I don't know. you know, uh, you guys have such you know amazing work that you guys done together and so on. And I can't wait to see the movie that what was it again?
Transmission.
Transmission.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this movie, so I will definitely look that up and you know definitely post it on my next episode. But
oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I want to be able to. I mean, you guys are taking time out of your busy time. Obviously, you guys work and write and act or going on auditions and stuff like that. So again, you're taking the time to come here. So of course, I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I've posted down on my YouTube channel your podcast, so hopefully some people will get to catch that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you guys, I remembered you guys like, what episode is this? It was kind of funny because I had DM'd Jen and said, when I'm posting this stuff to Spotify, like I literally have to go back and figure out how many episodes I've done so far because there's no like bar there. So I'm like, I gotta go back and count, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then I'm like, oh well, all right, I've done 11, and then I'll go back and I'll be like, oh shit, no, that's 12. I have to go back and stuff. So it's kind of crazy that way. And then doing podcasts in advance of of ones I'm putting out, I get lost too. So what I mean? Like I did 2 coming up very soon that I've got to edit. Actually, my little one was on the computer this morning, and my girlfriend sent me a picture, and I was like, "What is he editing my stuff?" Like,
yeah,
it was up on the thing, and I'm like, ugh. But it's the one on video games becoming movies and stuff, and I mean, some of the craziness, like in the podcast, there was one director who did 7 films, right? And he did it through 7 different distribution companies, and they made literally no money. I'm like, how did this guy get? How did anybody get to greenlight these movies, especially after the first one he did that did like no money and like had a Rotten Tomato score of like 3. Then he went to another distribution company and did it. And I'm like, how do certain people continue to get jobs who literally are just terrible at their job? You know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys, like I said, you guys have absolutely done an amazing job with the work you guys do, and you guys should be very proud of your work and everything else. So
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Body Count was amazing. Rational Fear was also another one, and I've seen pretty much almost all of Greenwald of our stuff. So that's another thing. If you ever watch my podcast, I literally butcher names all the time.
I know nobody can say it. It's okay.
I'll preference things like, okay, I'm going to butcher this name. Go ahead, whatever. But I do thank you guys. If you guys have any questions for me or anything else that you want to throw in, okay, go ahead, Charles.
What's your favorite Malvolia episode?
Oh my god.
Putting them on the spot.
You're killing me right now.
Top three.
Or is it a Halloween special?
You know what? Honestly, your Halloween specials have been good. I mean, to be honest, because again, there's been so many episodes. Now you're gonna ask me which ones, but your Halloween specials have definitely stood out because again, you guys really did a lot of work with those. So yeah, I would probably say your Halloween specials.
There we go.
But
we also had a great director, a great leader. The leadership on the set is amazing.
This is why I bring Charles with me everywhere.
So apparently she's a really nice boss. She's not,
They're not allowed to talk about that.
One of those, gag orders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, she's great. Yeah,
she's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to work with her again.
Oh man, she called me again. Oh no, wait. Oh, there she is. All right. You guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. And
thank you for having us.
Yeah, hopefully we can do this again. Maybe we can do this again before transmission comes out.
Ooh, let's do it.
Oh yes.
Or or we can collab on your show, whatever. We can set that up. So
because you did throw some fighting words to me that we were gonna talk about M. Shyamalan's movies.
Are we gonna talk about it? Are we gonna talk about his movies?
All right. You know what? All right. So I did a whole episode on this. Okay. And you guys mentioned The Village. Okay.
Yes. Oh.
Okay. Tell me and my audience why you actually like The Village. I'm just because I need to know.
For me, I was so in it that when it came to the twist of everything, I was like, whoa. I mean, I knew something was coming like that, but I didn't know exactly, I thought it was cool. And I had a crush on Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay. All right.
Oh, he was in that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. He played the autistic slow boy.
No, wasn't that Adrian Brody?
No. It's not, right? It's Joaquin, right?
That's Adrian Brody. That was Adrian Brody, the one that was a little, a little.
I don't know.
Hold on, now I'm gonna have to look this up. Now. I mean, it's not a movie that I pull up. I am a big Bryce Dallas Howard fan, and I literally can't.
What about Lady in the Water?
You know what? I actually didn't mind that movie.
Okay, I didn't like Lady in the Water, so that's how I'm seeing our differences.
Right. Well, I mean, I didn't mind it. Again, I'm a huge Bryce Dallas Howard fan, but I can't get behind The Village because, again, she's a blind girl and you send her out into the woods. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, she's got to learn. She's got to learn.
That'll learn you.
You will learn fast.
I was like, what?
Stop asking questions.
I was like, what are we doing? No, you're right. It was Adrian. No, Joaquin Phoenix was in it, but Adrian Brody was also.
No way!
Yes.
He played the one that was,
So Adrian Brody was the slow guy. So then Joaquin was what, the love interest or something?
Honestly, it's not in my repertoire anymore.
Okay, so we were both right, but I casted him wrong.
But I don't know. It was one of those things where I'm like, oh my God, why? Like, why are you sending the blind?
I love William Hurt too. Oh, R.I.P. I love William Hurt. I that was a dream. I always wanted to work with William Hurt.
Yeah, and obviously for Marvel fans, he was replaced by Harrison Ford in the new Captain America because he was Thunderbolt Ross through those. But yes, he was a really good actor. Obviously, good. Sixth Sense. Obviously, Sixth Sense has got to be your number one for his.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Charles, is that your number one movie of M. Shyamalan?
Okay, because I didn't know we were going to do this. I really want to synthesize this because I always try to challenge. So, like, my tastes have changed throughout the years. So, me rewatching The Village now, I don't know if I would have had the same experience, but it was on rewatch for me at that time, right? I am now, like, I watch movies differently. I analyze them differently. So I don't know. I don't know if Village would still hit the same. I suspect it would, because the reason
I kind of agree. Yeah.
I love The Village so much. The reason I do is it's that twist for me as well, because what is most interesting to me in a lot of movies, including The Purge, is when you get to see the ones pulling the strings, those private conversations like between the council, and they reveal themselves. And Sigourney Weaver, come on. I mean, I loved those conversations. I loved seeing that, and I think
it was a pretty dope cast. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good cast. I just couldn't get behind it. I just couldn't get behind it.
And it was one hit after another hit after another hit. I think, and then it started to. But yeah, of course, I think Signs is great.
Yep.
But you know what? Maybe Sixth Sense would be in my number one.
Yeah, because so many people did not see that one coming at all.
Yeah, that was just so. I mean, that was one of the most amazing twists. And then
you can't top that.
Right. Yeah. You expected him to keep doing it. And he did. He kept doing it. But it just, in some movies, it just didn't work. You know?
But The Sixth Sense was his thesis, his college thesis. You can tell he massaged that and worked on it and thought about it. And then once he got that picture deal, it was like bing, bang, boom. Got to get him out. So that's why I don't think all of his movies has been as strong as that one. But no. Chef's Kiss, he's had his moments.
Right.
Moments. Yes.
Like people, when he did Unbreakable, Glass.
Oh my God.
Split.
I haven't seen Glass, and I have not seen Split. No.
But Split.
I know. And I own Glass.
Dream.
Really? You haven't seen those?
I haven't seen them. No. Really? I own Glass. I have it on 4K, and I haven't seen it.
You own it, but you haven't seen it. That's funny.
But we've seen Trap.
That is a whole episode. We have to go. I mean, come on now. I feel like I could talk about Trap for a lot longer than I should. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it was so it was pretty well done. Although there was a couple of things in there. I'm like, I don't know if that really worked, and then
I had a lot of feelings towards Trap that weren't that great.
I just felt bad. I felt bad for Josh Hartnett because he doesn't get to be the lead often anymore, and this was kind of a chance for him. And he was acting his ass off in this movie, but the material,
I
felt so bad for him having
the daughter alone.
Yeah, and then he's actually going to be in Fight or Flight, coming out I think in June, I think, or May.
What's that?
It kind of looks like Trap a little bit, where he's on
he's now typecast.
He played. From what I saw from the trailer, he looks like he goes insane on a plane and stuff. So I don't know.
Are there snakes there?
No, there's no snakes on the plane. Oh my God, that movie! Swear to God. It just reminds me of maybe I should do a whole podcast on movies that good actors probably should have never done. It's like Michael Caine in Jaws Revenge. Like, were you that hard up for money?
Oh my God. Well, I like when they embrace it, No,
I get it, but I'm like, man, were you that hard up for money? I mean, the special effects alone in that movie were just absolutely terrible.
Or it could have been a part that he has always wanted to play that nobody will allow him to play.
Okay, all right.
Director.
I'll give you that.
Happens.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I know. I remember.
They don't always know it's going to be bad.
No,
true.
No, I know. I had this conversation with Matthew Lillard at Rhode Island Comic Con some years ago, because he was doing a forum with Ski Aldridge about, because somebody asked him about a couple of films that he had done, and he was like, we don't know they're going to be horrible. We just do what we have to do, and if it's horrible, it's horrible. We don't control that, but you don't turn down work.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
No.
And, so obviously Matthew.
A lot of times too, I'm going to put this disclaimer in there. A lot of times too, as an actor, you approach a project and you think you're going to play a certain character a certain way, and then a director has a completely different idea, and unfortunately, you have to kind of give it to the director. You know.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Listening to some of the panels at the Comic Cons, and they bring in the actors, and they're like, "Yeah, I came in with this thought, and we went this direction and stuff."
Yeah.
So, I mean, I give you guys all the credit in the world for doing it. Like when I was growing up, my mom was like, "Wow, I think you're going to become an actor," because like I watched movies and I would act out these movies, or I would, do voice impressions all the time. And she was like, maybe you should try that. I'm like, I don't know about that. But I mean, I would love to. I mean, if I was ever in LA and you guys were doing a movie, I wouldn't mind. I mean, just
want to be a victim.
Yeah, whatever, it had to be done. I've also written a few things too. I was inspired to write during a Western civilization class. No, Western lit class, where we were watching movies and breaking them down and stuff. And I've written a few things, and I'm like, man, I would wonder if any of this stuff would ever go. Like, but it's just, it's always out there. And I give you guys all the credit in the world for getting your stuff out.
Thank you.
You guys rock. And I'm so thankful that you guys came on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we'll have to do this again at anytime. So awesome. All right.
Anytime. Open invitation.
Hey, I'm just throwing it out there.
Watch out.
All right.
Watch out.
All right. Thank you guys very much. I'll let you guys finish up your night.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, George.
All right. Thank you. Have a good
Bye.
night. Right. Bye.
Oh, that was a great time. Love these two. They are so funny together. They work really well. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Hoping to maybe have them back on again, or maybe jumping on theirs podcast. Who knows? But continue, supporting indie acting or any independent stuff, because I mean they're doing amazing work, and it's not all about the big budget films and whatnot, but I know that they have acted in a few of those things. I can't wait to see Transmission when that comes out. And we looked it up, or Jen and I DM'd. It's coming out on June 25th. And I'll definitely probably have a review of that, maybe even have them on again, like I said. Thanks for watching. Definitely go to their web pages. I have them on my YouTube channel. I'll probably link them down below, and definitely check them out. All right. So again, thanks all for listening, and I will see you at the movies.
You like that, baby? Let him know where I came from, yeah!
See you next time. Bye.
Waiting for you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye. Goodbye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's all, folks.